Oh, there we go. Nice. Now we are live and in air.
Now,
Oh, look at
that's
that.
not
That's
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 my forehead.
that's not a pretty shit.
No, that's a good way to start the podcast.
Yeah, looking at your nose.
I mean, my big nose.
So what's going on? How you
Let's
been?
see. Living the dream, you know. I brought my
Living the dream.
other. Oh, here we go.
Exactly.
My other my Chromebook, so I could see if anybody
See
says
ourselves.
anything.
Oh yeah, in the chat.
I noticed I didn't do that last week, so this
That's
way
all
I
right.
can pay attention to our subscriber.
Yep, our one subscriber.
Yeah. So
Nice.
let's see. I spent a lot of this week coming up with fun Taylor Swift stuff for the Super Bowl this
Yeah.
coming weekend. So I had fun with that. Then I got that the review of the flashlight that I bought.
Where'd you get that
when
from?
we take
Yeah, we'll have to talk
Amazon.
about that. Amazon? Nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here. I sent you the pics. Do you want to put the pics?
Yeah, let me see if I can do this.
Somewhere over here. Bought it off of Amazon for like $25. It is sorry, I have a lot of my notes and stuff on here. WOP, WOPK, is the name of that. It's supposed to be 900,000 lumens. I don't know if it's 900,000 lumens.
Why does that seem like it's not?
I don't think it's 900, but if you see the pictures of, dark, and then the light picture when John puts them up, looking to see where they're at.
I'm
so
trying
I can
to.
do that.
Hold on, I'm pulling these out. Sorry, while we're talking about it.
Since we're walking the dog at night, it's 7.
There it is. It's up here. So there's the.
Let's see where it's at. Oh, it's right above. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That way. I think there's a delay, so I'm gonna say yeah.
I don't know if that's right.
No, other way, fool. Other way, that way.
I don't know what am I seeing there? Why is it showing all the other pictures? That's so.
Yeah, it's that way. Sorry, but picked it up to walk the dog at night, and just so we could see, because it's kind of dark,
Yeah. Let me grab the other ones.
Yeah, and it didn't do a bad job. I'd say it's maybe 300,000.
Yeah, it's probably definitely not the.
Maybe when you go into the little square, because it'll do a little square. Well, not a little square, but that little square is bright as
where you change the whatchamacallit, the zoom?
Yeah, you slide the head, and it goes from wide to.
Wait, show us how you do that again.
Yeah, you slide the head. So, but it was $29, and then I was able to get $5 off, I think it was. So for like $23, what the hell? It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was a neat little pickup. So I'm happy with it. Oh, there we go. So I'm happy with it so far. So
that's not bad though for just a cheap little light.
Sorry, the dog that doesn't pay attention to me. The dog is sitting down right there. So she's joining us for the podcast.
There's the picture with the lights on.
Yeah, there's the light on. Yeah.
Let me see.
I should have got one with the little square and kind of.
There's the light off.
I'm on a delay, or we're on a. There we go. There's
yeah, it's like a 5-second
so.
delay.
So,
that's his lights off. That's the lights on, which isn't bad. Throws a pretty good shadow.
Yeah, it did it for what we needed for just to kind of go out there in, pitch black, make sure we don't step in any, any badger bombs.
Well, that and
Um,
it also, it's a little bit easier than walking in the dark completely.
yeah, exactly. So we picked that up. So I for like I said, the $20 or whatever I paid for it does the job perfectly fine. I like
Yeah,
it.
I had one. I don't know where it is now. It was up here somewhere. Um, and it's got the charge. Oh, yeah, hold on, here it is.
Comes with like a massive 18650 or
So,
like a
so this is the
38,
one I've got. I don't know if you can see it. It's similar to yours, but it's got a USB port on the back, and
mine's on
then
the side.
and
Yeah.
then the head zooms out and it does the little square. It
Yeah,
is
very similar. Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy bright, but it stopped charging, and I don't know what the problem with it is. I think it might be the battery, but the battery is weird. So check this out.
I didn't bring it with, but
It's got two of those. I don't know what size these are. Uh, these little itty bitty ones. They're like the 3086, whatever the heck they are. Oh, 18650s.
yeah, 18650s. Yeah, we had those in my vape mods when we
I
were vaping.
I should probably check these and see if they're actually good. Maybe they're
The
not.
one the one I have has one of them little triangular pieces where I can use double A's. So I can use the big battery um,
Well,
or double A's.
so that's the
So
other
it's kind
thing
of
is
nice.
it's weird. So it's got the 18650s, right?
Yeah,
It's got this sleeve that each one comes in, and then that slides in. And this is about size of like I don't think it's like a C or a D. It's a little bit bigger than the 18650. So
yeah,
I think I could go like one size bigger. And if you look, they
yeah.
basically fit inside the sleeve as the battery slides into the sleeve and then that goes into the thing. So I could probably replace them. I'm gonna just try buying two new 18650s online. I've got a tester. I could check and see if these are holding the charge.
Just go to Amazon. You get 18650s cheap. We used to buy those for our vape mods all the time on Amazon.
So what I found out a long time ago, and I didn't know this, the original Tesla Roadster, the one that was based off the Elise, the Lotus,
Yeah, it's like
it
2,000 or 20,000
yeah,
18650.
the battery packs are basically these batteries,
Yeah, yeah.
and now they just
Which
use the
is
big brother of these, and they're like $20 a piece or something like that.
yeah. What the hell just happened here? Huh. I'm all right with that. It's just gonna try to connect to you, so. So yeah, it's a neat little
Yeah,
flashlight. Lights up my backyard. Pretty darn good, as you can see by the pictures.
yeah, I think I want to get one like that just because like I have a pocket one that's really good that runs off of one of those batteries.
Yeah.
And then I've actually also got the the tack light that we use when we played airsoft indoors, and it's got the button press thing for the trigger. I don't know if you can see it
Oh
here,
yeah. Yeah.
and it uses two of these tiny. I don't even know what the hell these are. These are itty bitty ones. They're like half of the 18650.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Oh
nine
shit.
325.
No, I can't read it. 132A. Is that right?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, that could be it.
Hold on, let me look. I'm gonna totally cheat here because I'm old and I can.
Yeah, tell me about it. I wore my glasses last night. Getting old sucks. Anybody that's young that is ever going to listen to this, ever. It's 2024. For the rest of eternity.
CR123A, exactly what it
Okay.
says.
Yeah, you
It's
can
two
get
of
those
them.
at
Yeah.
Walgreens.
Oh, can you? I'll buy them online though, because they're well. These are the lithium ion, the rechargeables, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. They just have the lithium pro or whatever
Oh
they
no,
are.
these are LiPro. They're not rechargeable. Well, maybe they are,
Uh-oh.
because this thing
Patty
doesn't have
melts
a
out there.
charger. I don't know. This was a nice flashlight, the one from I don't remember what the heck it was, but it's got the mount for the rail, and I was
Okay.
putting it on the rifle, and remember running around with the shotguns and
Yeah,
shit in airsoft.
that was fun. The lights out game where pistols and shotties only. That was fun. That was a fun.
I shot that guy in the
That
nuts when I was dual wielding.
it definitely, for those that don't know, airsoft, paintball, stuff like that. You got guys that seemingly just have incredible like range and
Yeah,
pressure behind their
their shots. Yeah,
their paintball or their airsoft pellet. You're not on camera, dear. Um, and when you went to just using pistols and the shotguns, it kind of evened the score a little bit. So it was,
it was a blast.
was more matched evenly. And it was a whole lot of fun. It was
Oh
definitely
hell
out
yes,
of the
it
norm,
was.
but it
Yes.
was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, they had. I think the first time we played, it's this place in Milwaukee, and it's called Airsoft Arena. I don't even. It's. I think it's still there. I see them on Facebook every once in a while, and it was the basement of like an old mall.
Yeah, in Milwaukee.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like you've been there. We'd like walk in, and like you're in the parking lot, and you got like people with like airsoft guns and like bags and wearing camo and shit, walking into a mall like to go to the basement and play, fake
Well,
war basically.
the airsoft guns and stuff like that were always, encased. They
Yeah,
were always
yeah.
in
They
some sort
always
of
they
case.
always
But
told you to keep them in a bag or keep them in a
it's
case. Yep.
yeah, it's not like you were walking around with your airsoft gun
Well,
out
but
because the airsoft guns look
there
realistic.
there were
So you would have freaked some
times
people out.
where we'd go upstairs and I had like my pistols in the holster, wearing the vest and everything, and we're standing there, and I can't hear you. Did I lose you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, you can hear me. I don't think I was saying anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like we'd sit there and we'd go outside like after a game to like cool off because it was so friggin' hot, and you'd be sitting there and wearing your plate carrier. I had my oh there you go, rim shot. I had my holster with the guns in it, and like people are walking in and out of the mall. It's like it's a little freaking weird.
Well, Wisconsin is an open carry state, so I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I've only seen a handful of people in this area open carry. First time I moved, when we moved up here, um, there was an older gentleman rolling around open carrying, and that was the first time I had encountered someone that open carried that wasn't like a cop, and so um, guy was just carrying a Glock, nothing too crazy. So, but and then I saw another guy a couple months after that, same thing,
Yeah,
so wasn't too bad. It whatever, it is what it is. Um,
nice.
yeah. So let's see. I got a whole bunch of screenshots to run through.
Oh,
Some most of my material today is Taylor Swift related or football related.
sweet.
So we can have some fun with that. But this one I thought was entertaining. On a Facebook post, somebody asked, "What's the greatest example of an actor only being in a movie for the money?" They're suggesting Marlon Brando. Because I guess when Marlon Brando signed up to play Colonel Kurtz in Apocalypse Now, I don't know if anybody, I know John. I'm sure you've seen Apocalypse Now, but it's just a 80s war movie, maybe
I love the
70s.
smell
But
of napalm in the morning.
Brando was only paid paid $3 million in advance. He worked approximately 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for about a month, for 4 weeks. He also negotiated, he received an 11% percentage of the box office gross, which looks like $100 million. So he got 11% of that on top of $3 million just for Apocalypse Now.
Huh.
Um, in his brief role as Jor-El in Superman, he was Superman's dad in one of the Supermans. Brando again was paid a considerable amount in advance, which was $3.7 million for a total of 13 days. Oh, plus he got an 11.75% of the total box office gross, which amounted to uh, roughly $300 million. So we got 11% of $300 million.
That's like 33 million, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
Marlon Brando, he's not Michael Corleone. He's Don Corleone. He's the Godfather.
Yeah.
So he made some bank, which I thought that was really kind of neat.
So
So
I'd probably have to say
mm,
Dan and I have
sorry,
talked about this movie before, but it
which
would
one?
have Blood Rain,
Okay, I don't
which was the
remember seeing it.
vampire one with Christina Loken.
Yes, I
Um,
sorry. The puppy came into.
they made
Uh,
like $4 million on that movie. It bombed, right?
yeah.
Ben Kingsley was in it, and they did an interview with him as like Time Magazine or something. They asked him like, "What were you thinking doing this movie?" Realizing that it was like such a box office bomb, and he said, I just looked it up. He did it because he always wanted to play a vampire with the teeth
Huh.
and the long black cape and all that, and his motives were somewhat immature for doing the movie. And
No. Okay.
I don't know, like they said the budget was only 25 million and
Oh,
it
okay.
only made 4 million in the box office. So they couldn't have paid him much to be in that movie.
No.
But
Sorry, the puppy
it's
came in.
weird
So
cuz he was like in that movie, he had like a large role in that movie.
I'll have to watch it. Blood Rain. I'll have to
It's
see if I can watch it.
it's a hilariously dumb movie is what it is.
I
It,
like hilariously dumb
yeah,
movies.
it's I mean it's not really funny in the sense that it's not like a comedy or humor, but just how terrible it is what makes it funny.
It's kind of like not Army of Darkness, Evil Dead.
Army of Darkness I think was the same, but yeah, Evil Dead I think was trying to be like a horror flick.
We can kick off that picture that I sent from my Taylor Swift barrage of stuff. There's a conspiracy around a picture that I just sent that we'll put
Oh
up
good
above
lord.
John.
Oh good lord. Hold on. Is that for real?
Because supposedly the Tortured Poets Department is a Taylor Swift album. Um, they're going on a stretch on this one, so I'm going to start it off with a good one. If you look at the letters circled, it's T
Hold on,
R
hold on, hold
U.
on. Hold on, I'm gonna select it here.
It's a stretch because they're trying to spell Trump,
Okay, it's up
and
here above my head to the right. At least on my screen it is.
they're trying to spell Trump, and they're trolling.
So it says the Tortured Poets Department, TRU
And TRUPM.
PM,
So
Trumpum.
so somebody doesn't know how to spell Trump first
Yeah,
off.
that's a stretch. That's
So
a
that one
stretch.
was so that one was entertaining. Hi, Badger.
I don't think that's a good one.
That one made me laugh. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's funny in that like people try so hard.
This one made me laugh because Kanye West is worth $400 million. Taylor
Okay.
Swift is worth $1.1 billion. Taylor
Okay.
Swift could now effectively buy Kanye West and still have $700 million left over for herself.
Good lord. I read
And
somewhere that she owns,
love you.
it was something like $100 million worth of properties on a single block in New York.
So it's like two
So,
apartments.
well, no, no. So she bought two apartments that were penthouse apartments and combined them into one like 8,500 square foot apartment. She bought the townhouse next door because it has a garage underground that she can avoid paparazzi.
Okay.
And she bought a ground floor apartment in the same building. And she's got other properties, I guess, around the town. And I saw something about like she got rid of her one of her private jets because of the people that like track
People are
her.
tracking her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, what do you expect?
Kanye West was trying to put an end to all this Taylor Swift madness, and y'all made him the villain.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that?
I'm gonna stop you right there, but I'm gonna let you finish.
No, like I said, this is all just to be um, tongue in cheek. None of this. Whether it's true or not, I'm just trying to, have a little fun, be a little festive with the Super Bowl going. Um, let's see. I had one. In 2023, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour raked in higher revenue than the GDP of 50 countries.
Wow.
Supposedly, she helped register over 35,000 new voters with an Instagram post.
Jesus.
She's now dating a Pfizer and Bud Light agent in the NFL, which is the most watched live sport.
Yeah, wait. Hold on a sec. Before you go on, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah,
Can we talk about Bud Light making a freaking comeback now? Like, what is that shit?
I saw them do. I don't know if it's legit or not, but Trump doing a Bud Light ad.
I
Now
don't know about
that would
that,
be
but they
that would
are
be
like
piss poor
their
demographics.
profits went back up. They got what's his name? The guy that was beefing with Jimmy Fallon, Aaron Rodgers. Was that him?
Oh, really?
They got him
Yeah.
to do like Bud Light shit now. And apparently he's like, they're like, oh, thanks to him doing whatever, it's like, jacked up their sales. And I'm like, I don't like. So they basically fell completely on their faces with that whole thing,
Yeah.
and then did a 180 and now came right back because what, people forgot about him, like forgot about all the shit that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that kind of pull, but
I don't think so
again,
either. I don't think anybody
again,
does. They were in the
I
fucking tank.
I think Bud Light is not a good beer anyways. So
Yeah.
we've gone through this 100 times. I'm not the target demographic,
No,
so
no. But I mean,
I was more a Miller guy, but
the people that are apparently forgot about all the shit they did.
I find that hard to believe. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
I'll have to look all that up. I'll have to look Bud Light. I'll do some
Oh,
research.
oh, they've got a Super Bowl ad with a 60-second ad. Wow.
Hmm. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes and they come out swinging with, because Budweiser, they had the Budweiser Frogs, the What's Up
Yeah.
guys, the Clydesdales. I mean, they had some iconic um, ads and like personalities, so to speak. So marketing campaigns. Hopefully they come up with something good. Hopefully the guy that
Yeah.
created all that came out of retirement and you know, they sweep it.
I think so too. I think they
That I can delete.
I give him credit for trying at least and sticking with.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The new thing with Taylor is that she's a government psyop. Because I guess 4 years ago, the Pentagon Psychological Operations Unit pitched NATO about turning Taylor Swift into a
Oh God.
social influence asset.
Hey,
Uh,
hold on one second.
yeah.
I'll be right back.
No, I'm gonna keep going. I got a ton. In 2019, George Soros bought her entire music catalog. Uh, that one doesn't mean anything. Let's go to my notes. I got a whole bunch of stuff because that's showbiz, baby.
That is definitely showbiz. Bring the
Uh,
camera back in.
Taylor Swift is a psyop to get the progressives to like billionaires because you know that whole eat
Oh,
the
good
rich thing.
lord. When will people learn?
Um, did you know that in some of her shows she arrives in a janitor cart?
I saw that, and I think I told you about that. It's
It's wild.
actually I think they said
I mean, it's bigger than a janitor cart. It's more like
it's yeah, it started as a meme. Somebody I think like originally said that because it was like
there's video of it
after
online.
yeah, after one of the shows though, somebody was like, "Oh, look, Taylor Swift's in that cart." And then I heard that she did it to basically be like, "Oh yeah, there you go. Like that's what she does." But
But I
I'm
mean,
like, I don't know, the one I think I linked us like last week, you could clearly see like they stopped by like a tent or whatever behind the stage and she gets out and like goes into the tent and like goes up to the stairs.
to this
But
day,
it's
yeah,
like
exactly.
somebody said that she was doing that like just to kind of like, you know, as a prank for that whole meme that was going around about her doing that. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I've never seen it, never heard it. I just thought that was entertaining. I saw the video. It
nice.
was really kind of neat. Um, but you know, we're supporting someone who thrives on breakups and toxicity, and is empowering her fans to sacrifice themselves just to watch her sneeze.
Wow.
Her fans are a little nutty sometimes, you know. Uh, Taylor Swift and the Travis. The rumor is that it's just a ploy by the NFL to gain female viewership. Um, this is about as political as I'm gonna. Well, we'll talk about the Putin interview later, but um, it's also rumored that some of Taylor Swift's fans are going to be swayed to vote like Taylor in the next election. The only response I have to that is, how are you going to vote for somebody that obviously has poor choices in men? How are you going to let somebody sway you to vote for, you know, this person when she has bad taste in men sometimes?
Yeah.
Although on the real, I do. Patty Melt and I talk about this all the time. You know, the Travis Taylor thing. We talk about it. We think that it might be Endgame. You know, that there might be a ring
Right.
sometime.
Right.
Um, so like I said, all this is just to be a smartass. I'm not, you know. Um, I also read that was it uh, Travis Kelsey's ex-girlfriend. Kelsey is using Taylor Swift, and that's why he wasn't at the Grammys. Um, but I think the real reason he wasn't at the Grammys is because, well, he's playing in the Super Bowl. He's got a job to do too. I think that if he wasn't in the Super Bowl, he probably would have been at the Grammys with her. So, uh,
He didn't do the proposal, did he?
no,
Not
not yet.
yet, huh?
Although I did see somebody ask Travis um, in his interview for the Super Bowl, um, who's going to get a ring first, the Niners or Taylor Swift?
Oh, good lord.
That one made me laugh.
That is kind of funny.
Um, Patty Melt saw one. Um, a conspiracy that about the Taylor Travis thing. Uh, since Taylor Swift grew up in Pennsylvania, I believe it is, that she's such a die-hard Eagles fan, and they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. She's getting revenge by distracting Travis Kelsey from doing Travis Kelsey things in an attempt to get them to lose.
What? That that's like way too far.
That was funny. That one made me laugh. Actually, all these made me laugh. So let's, I'm not even gonna try.
Hmm.
Uh, there's Putin notes. Uh, more Putin notes. More Putin notes. Um, who's getting the ring first? The Niners or Taylor? We got to pray for the Big Island in Hawaii and California. Both got whacked with earthquakes today.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw that. Direct ener-
6.3 and a 4.7, I think.
direct energy weapons. Telling you,
It explains a lot. Uh,
they're targeting us.
I saw something that linked Snow White to uh, the one with Tangled. That's the Rapunzel one. Um,
Uh.
they asked if Mother Gothel was the evil queen from Snow White. Um, we know that
Oh yeah.
Mother Gothel, was obsessed with beauty, uh, and we never see a body, so to speak, in the movie Snow White. And both movies take place in southern Germany. Mother Gothel finds the flower that she gets her beauty from at the bottom of a cliff, and the evil queen fell off a cliff. And I guess Mother Gothel has apples all over the tower that Rapunzel's in. So is Mother Gothel this, evil queen Snow White?
Yeah, that could be.
Let's see. Did you know that Sporty Spice, her birthday was January 12th, and Baby Spice, her birthday was January 21st? Happy birthday, ladies.
Oh, God grew up with them.
Yeah. Let's see. Super Bowl. Um, I've been seeing different prices, but it's ballpark. To go to the Super Bowl, I read somewhere that tickets were between $5,500 and $2 million being the most expensive. That even Travis
That's
Kelsey was
crazy.
complaining about the price of Super Bowl VIP suites. Like they were so expensive, Christian McCaffrey couldn't even afford a suite.
Wow.
And Christian McCaffrey's playing in the Super Bowl for the 49ers.
Now, why does that cost? Like, I mean, is it because they don't want normal plebs there and they just want like famous people and superstars and politicians and shit?
I think this year it's getting crazy because of all the Swifties. But yeah,
But
Super Bowl
I
tickets are
mean,
usually
it,
always expensive.
but if you're a team member and you're Travis Kelsey, you got to think they comp him a suite. Like they're not going to make him pay for his family and shit to be there because
I guess he was complaining.
he's the reason a lot of people show up for the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
mean,
did you know
I
that?
like
Sorry.
or Taylor Swift. If she's going to be there, that's why a
Well,
lot of people want to go to catch a glimpse of her.
she's got a concert in Japan Sunday, so I'm curious to see if she's actually going to make the
She'll
Super
fly
Bowl or
back
not.
and
In one of her, we talked about her private jet or one of her private jets being sold because people were tracking her. It's like
yeah,
she has more than one private jet,
yeah, that's true.
you know. So, but did you know that prior to 1993, there was no halftime show during the Super Bowl? that they would play like an episode of, Married with Children or like the news or something like that.
Huh.
And they realized how much revenue they were losing out, viewership they were losing out. So they created the halftime show. And I
Nice.
think Michael Jackson was the first one. I'm
Huh.
in on that one. Sorry, I'm kind of going. That I can get rid of. Sorry, I'm kind of ripping through everything here. If you fart in the cheese aisle at Whole Foods, do all the snooty people say how wonderful the cheese smells?
Oh, that's not right.
Delete, delete. Oops. No, we're going to delete that. I watched that Tucker Carlson, Vladimir Putin thing.
Oh, how was that?
This, I have a lot of notes on this that you got to try to watch it. Like the first half an hour is him going over like 2,000 years of uh, Russian history, which is
Okay.
crazy. I mean, how many people know 2,000 years of history?
Right, right.
Um, from what Putin says in a lot of the interview, that he was trying to cooperate with the West in a lot of things, like try to join NATO, stuff like that. Um, but we kind of isolated him and kind of said no, because I guess he asked, Bill Clinton, if he wanted to join NATO. Does Clinton think that NATO would allow Russia to join?
Right,
Um,
right.
and his response kind of turned him off to that. So Putin does not want to invade Poland or take over the world. The issue with um, there was a ton of information that was sent back and forth, and that I was also at work, so I may have missed some things. But it seems like he's just trying to not take back what's Russia's, but like in terms of peace treaties and agreements and things like that. Some of the Ukraine is technically supposed to be Russia's or something like that. Um, like I didn't realize some of Ukraine also has some Transylvania and Hungary in it. Um,
Really?
that's what they like I said, there was so much information that it like I'd probably have to watch it 3 or 4 more times just to you know pick everything up.
Huh.
And I watch Tucker Carlson from time to time, but the way he was looking at Putin, I don't know if he was like shitting his pants because, well, it's Putin across a table from him,
Yeah.
or what, but his facial expressions kind of irked me a little bit.
So I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw a bunch of clips and I saw some, React videos and mainly I just did it cuz I wanted to see what was getting talked about. And
Yeah,
like
because that's huge.
I guess the only thing is what I don't understand is like I don't, everyone's like, oh, I what I don't okay, so the whole thing with Ukraine started, everyone said he was a bad guy. And
Yep.
now like a bunch of people are like, oh, he's not so bad. They do a 180 and they're saying that like, all the problems that he had were justified and the way he acted was justified. And now that they're finding out that like all this crap was going on in Ukraine, but it's like I mean, how can anybody trust that guy? Like he's been known to kill people who don't follow or conform to his policies. People are falling out of windows around him. It's like the guy
That's
the
like being
guy
suicided in a jail cell.
yeah, the guy is like clearly tied into the KGB and stuff. So like,
Well,
I tend to take stuff that he says when I watch those clips with a grain of salt because it's like you don't know if the guy's telling the truth or if he's doing it because that's what people want to hear.
exactly. And one of the things was, uh, if you take it at face value, which I don't know Vladimir Putin. I don't, I don't speak Russian, so I don't know all that. So,
Right.
it seems like he's not this deranged like warmonger that the mainstream media is kind of portraying him as.
Well, and
The,
so
the way he said it, but he
that's what
could
I
have
don't
been doing it.
understand.
He could have been answering it that way to make it look that way as well. So,
Well,
I mean, there's
yeah, there was a comment about like, joining NATO and all that crap and like all the stuff that he wanted to do. And it's like, okay, so it's no secret Russia wanted to join NATO.
yes,
But the problem was, and this is where I think people like where your thought process, like he's not the bad evil guy, because I think about it and I'm like, okay, I hear this side, and I think about all the crap that our country and our government's done, lied to people and done all this shit, and it's like, okay, we know Russia wanted into NATO. His argument, the way I understand it, is that they basically weren't even given a chance. Everyone else is like, nope, we're not even going to consider it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
now
But
that was what,
Ukraine was,
yeah, that was what, like 30 years ago or whatever, coming out of the Cold War. Ooh, Russia's
yeah,
our
90,
enemy. They
yeah,
got nukes, whatever it was, right? Um, but like nobody even entertained that. It was just like he made a comment like, oh, we want to join NATO. Like they're like, nope, sorry, go somewhere else. Take your toys and play. Well,
yeah. Like he's trying to keep peace and be like, hey, let's
But
let's
but so this
let's
this
make
is what I don't
friends.
understand is, okay, Putin wanted it, Gorbachev wanted it. I mean, it was pretty clear that he wanted into NATO, and the same shit happened to him. They were basically like, nope, we're not even going to entertain it. Right now, what really gets me is when you think about it. So NATO essentially runs with the interest of U.S. and its allies in mind, and they're asserting their influence on Europe and the European members by claiming it's like a defensive organization to protect it. Well, so who stands to lose if Russia becomes part of NATO? Well, we do. And all these people that have ties to money and companies overseas in Europe and other countries, because if Russia and say like, ally with anyone in Europe, like NATO is like the US is no longer needed in that scenario, because now they're going to just get everything they need back and forth over there, and we're out of the picture, and a lot of people would stand to lose a lot of money on that deal.
Yes, yes, yes,
And I
yes. Exactly.
that's the sad part, is like it hits people in the pocketbooks. And now I'm not saying he's right or wrong, Putin, but it's like I understand where he's coming from when you look at it like that. Because if you're saying, look, you're clearly doing this to keep me out of the picture because you and your constituents and all that stuff are making money, because it's essentially like it's like the buddy system, the good old boys club. They don't want him in there because they're afraid of what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. He talked about being well aware of the deep state
Yep, yep.
and the CIA as being nefarious.
Yeah, but I
Right.
mean, I love a good conspiracy, and we talk about all kinds of shit on here at times. You
No
know,
offense. Putin knows 2,000 years of his own country's history. Do we know if Biden knows what he had for breakfast?
well, I mean, you could say the same about Trump too. Does he know the whole history? I doubt it, because they haven't. The other issue is, you look at how long has
Say that
Putin.
about any president.
Yeah,
Let's not
how
just
long
pick on the
is
last two.
yeah how long has Putin been in power? I mean, what's his
Uh,
like reign been now? How long? I mean, I'll Google it real quick.
I have no
Fact check.
idea. Remember, before we celebrate Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin, remember he's an evil dictator who runs a country where an American journalist died last month while in police custody for speaking out against the government. Oh wait, never mind. That was Zelensky in Ukraine.
So here you
Sorry.
go. He's been president of Russia since 2012. So you're going on 12 years basically,
Okay.
right? Because we're at 24. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
right. I mean, your average U.S. president is 4 to 8. Max of 8, unless they
Yeah.
wait and rerun. But
Hmm.
like, and I don't think that's ever actually happened. I don't think anyone's done a third term.
What, U.S.?
Yeah, has it ever happened?
No, I don't. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to
Well,
run
you
a third term.
can. You can do two, wait, and then do another one if you want, or another two.
No, I think you can only do 8. Or 8 years. You can only do 2 terms. You can't do a third.
I thought you could as long as you waited.
No, as far as I remember,
I just thought it was only two consecutive.
no, you can only be president twice. At least I
Oh,
should heard
okay.
more than twice. And no person who has held the office of president
Oh,
or
okay. So
acted
that's
for
I'm
more than two
totally
years. I didn't know that.
I'm totally dumb. That's the 22nd Amendment, the two-term limit on
Yeah,
presidencies.
yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't remember it was I didn't remember it was the 22nd Amendment, but
Oh shit,
um,
I'm wrong. Okay.
I don't
So
remember what I had for breakfast either. So,
so Franklin Roosevelt won a third term by defeating Republican nominee Wendell Willkie in
huh,
1940.
nice.
He remains the only president to serve for more than two terms.
Hmm. Were we at war?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember. What year was it?
1940? Yeah, because we were 42 as World War II,
World War
right?
Two with
Yeah.
yeah.
It ended in 42, so we probably would have been in the middle of war, right? Yeah.
Sorry, everybody watching that's a little
Okay,
younger that
so here you
don't
go. So
history of the
the,
world.
the
Once you hit your 40s and you don't read this stuff and remember it, you start to forget stuff. Like I
so
used to be able to speak
so
Korean and I
but
don't
I'm gonna be
remember.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't learn this shit in high school. They never taught this in history class or whatever the hell it was.
We had the U.S. Constitution. We had to take the
We had
Constitution test.
Constitution. We do all that. I honestly don't remember what the hell the 22nd Amendment was. I couldn't tell you what the other 21 were before it.
Uh,
Okay, well I know the Second Amendment,
first,
right to bear arms, whatever,
first
freedom
is freedom of
freedom
speech.
of
Second
speech.
is
Everybody
Second
knows
Amendment.
those. Yeah.
Third is that quartering soldiers. Uh,
I
we
don't
know
honestly know.
flee the fifth. Fourth is right to a fair trial.
Oh, I don't know. So on that topic, Roosevelt's been the only president to do it because in 1947 they introduced the second 22nd Amendment to two-term presidency limit. So there you go.
27 amendments listed this amendments to the Constitution. Sorry, I'm just trying to. No, that's not it. That's not. What are the first 10 amendments? Freedom of speech or assembly, petitions, right to bear arms. Third is quartering soldiers. Fourth is search and seizure. The sixth is a right to a fair trial. It was
Gotcha.
wrong. Damn it. Uh, uh, Seven is rights in civil cases and bail fines and punishments. I got 6 and 4 mixed up. Oh well. It's been a
See,
long time
that's
since I had to remember that.
you're smarter than I am.
Or the Articles of the Confederation. That was
Confederacy?
the Confederacy. Articles of the Confederacy is was that that's the Bill of Rights, isn't it? Articles of the Confederation.
So is a written
Uh,
document that
the-
establishes the functions national government of the United States after it declared independence from Great Britain. 1777 to 1781.
I got to go back and read some of my history. I'm forgetting stuff that I should remember. Oh well. But at least I remembered, the some of the amendments. I just mixed up 4 and 6.
Hey, that's more than I knew.
Mm,
So
oh well.
I don't
Well, I
claim to be a
figure,
historian.
since we the Second Amendment is so controversial at this moment in time, I thought it would be prudent for me to kind of brush up on my Constitution So in case somebody asks me, okay, what's the third? Well, it's quartering soldiers, or the Fourth Amendment search and seizure, Fifth Amendment,
But I'll be honest with you,
Fifth
like,
Amendment.
where are you ever going to encounter somebody that's going to do that?
I don't know.
Like,
I
for
just
what reason?
I kind of wanted to do it for myself. You know what I
No,
mean?
I mean that's a good reason, but like I don't, like I
'Cause-
honestly can't think of anybody that I would ever come into contact with that would be like, hey, what's this amendment? What's that amendment? Now, like,
right to a speedy trial, civil
I
rights
guess, yeah,
rights.
I guess I don't know why that would come into play. I could see some of them, like your search and seizure, stuff like that. People pleading the fifth, that comes into play.
Election. The 13th Amendment, that was Abraham Lincoln, if I recall correctly.
Uh, uh, abolish
The
slavery.
abolition of
Yeah.
slavery, yeah. 15th, right to vote not denied by race. 16th Amendment, we can get rid of. It's income tax.
Oh God, yeah.
18th Amendment was, oh yeah, 18 was prohibition. 21st was the repeal of 18. 22nd, presidential vote. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna go through that. Just if Putin can go through 2,000 years of Russian history in a half an hour, I can try to remember
The guy clearly
Constitution.
studied for the test.
And I'm gonna try to take what he said at face value because, like I said, I don't know him, so I
Right.
can't, you know, I can't say, he's an evil dictator or he's an asshole or he's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, I don't know the guy
I
one
don't
way or
I
the
don't know.
other. I know
I don't
what I've
know.
been told by mainstream media.
Exactly. And no offense, he's Putin. I mean, he's in a position of power like that, and it's
But and that's the thing is like you hear all these horror stories about the polonium tea and people falling out of unopened or unlocked windows and all that shit in his presence and like people who have opposed him. Well, he's got people to do that for him, so the blood isn't on his hands if that's true. Just like with our government, you got these three-letter agencies that are probably more than willing to do that,
you're done.
to save somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean
Um,
that's the conspiracy with JFK. He
mm,
wanted to get rid of the FBI and
that's the
CIA.
no. See, I heard it was the bank, the central bank. Was that it?
Well, he wanted to do that too, but he wanted to also basically consolidate CIA, FBI.
I have to
Uh,
find that information because one of the Bushes, was it Senior or W? One of them wasn't supposed to be president. Like the position that he had, one
well,
of them wasn't supposed to
and
be.
that was senior, right? Because didn't he run
He
the
was
FBI
the head of the FBI. Yeah,
when guess who got assassinated?
yeah, exactly.
And
So
that's hey, that's the conspiracy.
yeah, I love a good conspiracy.
Yeah.
What also Putin said, he talked about Ukraine being full of Nazi sympathizers.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, and I could see
I've
how that
heard
could
that
ruffle
from
feathers.
I've heard that before from powerlifters that I know that are from Russia. Um,
I
that
mean,
now I've never
realistically,
been there, so I don't.
I
I have
I'll
to
be
take
honest with
people.
you though. I don't think that's an uncommon assumption because look at America. We got Nazi sympathizers. We got a
Yeah,
fucking
look at
Illinois.
Argentina,
We got a fucking Illinois Nazi party that leaves pamphlets on people's cars in the parking lots. Like
Illinois Nazis.
Illinois, like joke if you will. That's a fucking thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
like
know. It's the Blues Brothers.
I can completely understand if people say, given the geographical location to where Ukraine is, they got Nazi sympathizers. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some in Russia. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some everywhere else. There likely are. I mean, it's not like you're going to
Canada.
throw a dart at the dartboard and miss with that assumption.
Look at Canada. I completely forgot about this. They gave
Well, everybody
some
forgets about Canada.
hero in Canada, their parliament gave this SS officer a standing ovation. I forget what it was for, but yeah, you know you can look it up. Um, but they gave this guy a standing ovation, and he was an SS officer.
Okay.
Uh, no, with the
How do
atrocities
you
that
how do
you
you
know that
think Operation Paperclip, when we took all of the Nazi scientists and basically gave them jobs at NASA and said we'll forgive any atrocities you had and prevent you from being arrested, deported, whatever. Like
yeah,
that's you know the reason we won the space race is because we took their scientists out of
the Nazi
Germany,
bell.
yeah, and said, "Hey, come build rockets for us because clearly you guys were outdoing us." Like, it's as funny as it sounds, it's the American way. You basically look at Google, look at Microsoft, look at these big companies that see somebody doing something better than them, competition, a small little guy, whatever, and they go, "Oh, Eric, you build this rocket ship that's going to get us to the moon. I'll tell
They
you what,
poached. Yeah.
we'll give you $10 billion and buy everything from you. You'll be a happy man." And then they shelf it. It never
Hmm.
sees the light of day. Now, there's a conspiracy about that with, oh, hydrogen powered cars, electric cars, blah, 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 because, oh, they buy it and they don't want to lose money. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
big oil. Yeah.
that's business 101. They stand to lose a ton of money if that shit knocks them off of that podium. And that's the same with anything. Same with, what did we have to lose? What did we stand to lose if Russia, Germany, China made it to the moon first? A lot. And it's
Yeah,
it's basically
exactly.
us trying to save face by saying, "Oh shit, they're making rockets, the V2 rocket that could strike halfway across their freaking country at targets that like we can't even see. Like who better to build our rockets to take us to the moon than those guys?" Clearly they're doing something better than us. And that's the
Exactly.
way it works because that's show business.
It's showbiz, it's
Show
showbiz,
business,
baby.
baby.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to go there. Let's see what else. What else with my notes? This did make me laugh because because they were talking about Ukraine and why are we involved? He's like, don't you have anything better to do? You have border issues, issues with migration, issues with the national debt being more than $33 trillion. Um, why fight with Ukraine? Why you have other issues than uh, what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. And no offense,
Yeah.
that's true. Why are we, because I guess we have some mercenaries over there, along with Germany, Great Britain, and I think somebody else. Why do we have people over there, weapons possibly? Yes, I'm all for, you know, protecting from a bully, but or a possible bully, or if Ukraine's even the bully. I don't know, but why are we wasting our time and our resources when we need it here?
Yeah.
So that made me kind of laugh. He kind of sounded like an America First kind of guy. Um,
Honestly, I wonder if that's part of the appeal he was doing to try and
but it
give
could be
that,
to
like,
soften
yeah,
his
like,
look.
like I'm not such a bad guy after all. Look at me, I'm just like you.
I don't know, but Tucker Carlson going to interview, with the rumors of the way Putin is, with the way Tucker going there to interview him. That man's got some steel.
See, I don't think so because I think a Putin is smart enough. Now, this is probably going to give me some flack. He's smart enough
Yeah,
to
whatever.
realize he he gets to voice his opinion. I mean, okay, look at what happened to Tucker Carlson. Fox, right? He worked for Fox when they fired him.
Yeah,
They basically got rid of him because they didn't like what he was saying, which was the truth. And that's the thing is, he basically told it like it was, cost them a ton of money, and they
and
said,
questioned it, tried to. Yeah,
right, and they said, "Oh, well, you're out." Right? They got rid of the problem. Well, I think Putin's smart enough to realize this guy's a straight shooter and he tells it like it is. He's not going to run me around and lie about, whatever I say and do. He's going to let me speak my mind, which from my understanding, like again, I didn't watch it, is basically what he did. There was obviously some Q&A back and forth, but
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
I think, it it did them both good in their image. And like you
Oh
said,
yeah.
look at like what you said, and just from what I saw, today, the few clips, like I don't like you, I don't really view him as the evil, vile, bad guy that everyone makes him out to be when you hear him talk about things like a human being. He's no different than you or me. He just happens to have, a whole squad of, a death squad that can kill people and push them out windows.
The two Russians that I used to work with at the Abbey, like they were like straight off the boat Russians. Like they moved here. Um, when did Nick move here? I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years, give
How
or
did
take.
they
I
how
don't
did they feel
remember.
about Putin?
Um, they were ready to go back
Yeah.
when Biden came into office. If things were that bad, they were. Nick's from Siberia. He's from
Yep.
Serbia. He's from Siberia. So, um, he left, and he's like, I might as well just go back. He's like,
I mean, as much
you know,
as much shit as that guy gets on the world stage, I think you ask any hardcore Russian who's been there any amount of time, grown up there, whatever, like they all view him like he's this great guy, and he may
yeah,
very well be, but does he have his faults? Well, yeah. I mean,
everybody does.
did Bush, did Obama, did Clinton, did Trump, did Biden? They all do. Everybody has their faults. That's what makes them human. I mean,
Do I think Putin is an innocent man? I mean,
no way in
he's
hell.
a
No way
leader.
in hell.
He's got to make tough choices. He's a leader,
But
whether it's
the
Obama,
the only
Trump,
the only thing
Putin.
is he may be innocent in the eyes of, oh, he hasn't done anything. But again, he's got people to do that shit for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's no blood on his hands. You're going to be hard for pressed to find any proof. He told, because he basically he rules with an iron fist. I mean, that's the whole thing. Look, if you're KGB,
Russia
or
first, so to speak.
if you're KGB or whatever the hell, agency that does this crap for him, their kill squad or whatever, if you're going to turn on him and say, oh yeah, Putin made me do this, your life, your family's life, your next family's generational life, they're all fucked. Like that going into it. So I think it's like, is
Pardon me.
there a fear because how evil the guy is? Likely. But I think there's also some form of respect, because at the same time he gives them a lot of stuff that, typical people probably wouldn't have up there, and
Possibly.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't
The
know.
the
I
whole
mean,
interview.
I think he's vilified by a lot of people, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I look at that at the clips I was watching, and I think, like you said, I think he's just a really, like, just a basic guy that, wants to tell his side.
But my favorite question of the the night was when Putin asked Carlson, um, "Can you explain to me the American cultural phenomenon, Baby Gronk, and if he is truly the Drip King or if he's just being rizzed up by Livy?"
That's awesome.
That one made me laugh. No, it honestly, people need to put their um, political ideals aside because Tucker Carlson's obviously conservative. Some people may not like Putin. Put him aside. Watch the interview. Form your own opinion,
Yeah.
and please, you know, give us a message on Instagram, Facebook, X,
Shit, put a
one
talk
of
about it in the comments under the
one
video.
of
I'd
yeah,
love to I'd
one
love
of
to
our
get
live
feedback.
streams. Yeah, what did you think? What do you think Putin was being sincere? Do you think he was being full of shit?
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was a good interview. To me, it's Putin's protected. So I mean,
I
to
think
me, it's like going to do Kim Jong Un. You know what I mean?
any that's the thing is I think anytime you got to respect both those guys, Tucker and Putin, for doing that because either one of them could have been like, fuck this, we're not going to do it, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. It
I
it
I
was it
think
was a neat interview.
I think I think the thing is it did what Tucker wanted to do is it got people talking and thinking about it and not just realizing like you don't just blindly follow what you're told. Because
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't if all you're hearing is one side of the story, that's all you're going to know and that's all you're going to react to.
yeah, exactly. It was definitely uh, uh, eye opening to see the other side of the coin. It was really, I think it was really kind of neat for Putin to, um, like just even allow that, because I mean, there's
Yeah.
videos like there's the Conor McGregor video where McGregor's meeting Putin, and Conor puts his arm around him and is like, hey, doing the normal fight thing where they're trying to be cute, and like the handlers for Putin were like,
Yeah.
no, you don't want to put your arm around him, that's
I think you're right though. Like if you look at Kim Jong Un or any of these other world leaders that are on the stage and if you sit down with somebody and you talk to them like that, like and treat them like a human, to me, I think both of them showed respect for each other because they, from what I saw, like they clearly at least respected each other as a newscaster, whatever you want to call Tucker Carlson now. I don't know what he's called.
a journalist.
Yeah,
He's a
journalist.
journalist.
He's a journalist.
Whether
Yeah.
he's not necessarily mainstream, but in this
Well, I mean,
era
shit.
of
He was like the biggest fucking thing until they didn't like what he had to say. But see, that's a prime example. All we heard was their side of the story. Like, oh, he stepped over the line, we got rid of him. And he comes out on social media, he does podcasts, he does all this shit now. If you go and listen to his side of the story, listen to both of them, draw your own conclusion and feel like however you want to feel. Don't just
exactly.
blindly go, oh, he's an asshole and they fired him because he got out of line. Well,
Mm-hmm.
why did he get out of line? Because he didn't like what the big corporate America news agencies were saying and doing.
What popped up was on my YouTube. It popped up of Tucker, John Daly, and Kid Rock were talking.
Oh God.
You got to watch it. It is John Daly. He's my favorite golfer now, just because of, I don't want to say arrogance, the confidence that man has. It is,
Yeah.
and Kid Rock's just Kid Rock. I'm sorry, I like Kid Rock. I've seen him in concert 3 times, and every show he's put on has been just a banger. I mean,
Yeah.
his shows are like 10, 15 years ago. So I mean, we're all a little older, but back then his shows were always top notch, entertaining. Everybody was jamming, having a good time.
R.I.P. Joe
So
C.
yeah, exactly. So you know, Kid Rock, I like Kid Rock. Just I like his music.
Now,
I'm not
now,
afraid to say that.
don't let the act fool you. He grew up in a very well-to-do family, just
He
like
said that.
just like
Yeah.
Eminem.
Yeah,
they weren't
right.
they weren't they were living on the streets. He's not some backwoods redneck guy.
It's
He
funny
grew
how
up
Kid
in
Rock
white
went
bread
from
America.
he
But
was
to me though,
upper middle class.
that's okay because he even says, "Yeah, this is my my upbringing." He's doing the music because that's what he enjoys and that's what he likes. He's not faking it or trying to fake it. He's open about how his upbringing was, and that's fine. Whatever. I'm okay. I can respect him
Exactly.
for that. If you get a guy, who comes up and says like, "I grew up in a trailer park on the Compton or whatever the fuck it is," and like it comes out 10 years later that like no, this guy grew up in some hoity-toity gated community in L.A. Yeah, I'm not going to appreciate that. You've
Yeah,
been lying to me this
exactly.
whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, That interview is hysterical.
Yeah.
Because John Daly he smokes, he drinks Diet Coke all day long, he drinks all sorts of. The amount of alcohol that man can drink is. He probably died in 1985, and his body is still just trucking along on booze and cigarettes.
It's been preserved by all the crap you put in it.
It is unreal. Just one of the questions, I forget how many bottles of vodka John Daly had. And Kid Rock was just like confirmed. He like, yeah, I was there for that. He drank, like 2 bottles of vodka or something like that.
Jesus.
And it's just we joke, you can't be hungover if you don't, stop if you keep drinking.
Yeah, yeah. You never hung
Oh,
over if you don't
God.
stop drinking.
God, I would love to party with John Daly. That is $1,400.
No, I'm just saying because that's typical
Oh,
Snap-on stupidity.
good Lord. I would love to party with
I'm
Kid
gonna
Rock
put
and
that
John
picture
Daly.
up. We can talk about that. Is that 'cause that's an actual thing, right?
I don't know. Somebody posted it and Snap-on Ratch RZG. Let's look it up. It's a Snap-on razor, so trim your neck, stuff like that. Ratch RZ Green.
I'm gonna put this up.
RZG. Holy crap! It is Snap-on soft grip ratchet. $50? That's it?
That's it, really?
Oh, is this
Right here.
on? If
So
this is
this is
on
fifty
Amazon,
dollars.
I'd
Snap-on
close mine.
ratchet. I'm gonna check a name.
I don't think Snap-on would sell there,
No, no.
but ironically, I have that green handle stuff. I need to spend some of my allowance. Only $50.
Oh shit! There's a guy selling a red one on eBay.
I,
$44.
I have the green one. I have the green handles. 31 sold, 3 available. Ratchet
So the
handle. How
question
quick?
is, what kind of heads does it take?
That's what I was going to ask. Because I will buy this. I use a Harry's razor now, but
I'm actually looking at getting possibly a straight razor. I think that'd be
ratchet
awesome.
handle. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Sorry, we're recording. I shouldn't be shopping for
No,
useless.
I put it up right here. Apparently that's $50. You could get them in red, green, probably a blue. I don't know what the hell Snap-on does, but somebody posted in our WhatsApp, and I made the comment that it's the Snap-on stupidity price, and that was going to cost $1,400, which led us to where we are now, researching it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty cool
the
because
amount of the amount of money I spent on a Snap-on truck is
now, see, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I can't speak to the quality of their tools, but I have a lot of mechanic friends that say it ain't worth it, and a lot of new mechanics get suckered in because
it's
the truck
Snap-on.
shows up and it's a nice shiny thing, and you're basically the way. I didn't realize this. It's essentially like a credit system.
Yeah.
The way you buy stuff from them is you essentially like sign
Yeah,
over your paycheck and you pay him every week he shows up
you get a
and you
truck
get
account.
paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We
And
used to do
that's
that at Circus
a lot of these guys buy shit
all the
and then that's it.
time.
They're next thing you
The,
know they're paying Snap-on truck back for 20 years.
the one there's the thousands of dollars I spent on that truck for like a 10 mil socket.
now I
There's
have
one thing
heard
I should have bought.
I have heard that their like warranty and return policy is like awesome. Like I watch
It's
guys
amazing.
car tubers on YouTube that do shit with Snap-on and they abuse their fucking tools. Like they're not
Oh yeah.
using them for what their intended is. Like this guy's using fucking pliers as like
hmm
hammers and shit and he's welding and shit's getting welded to the fucking pliers and he's just like, I'll tell the Snap-on guy and he'll give me another pair. We'll just
Yeah.
exchange them.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
okay with
It's
that.
great.
Like
It's great.
that to me is awesome. But then, like at the same time, I look at like, okay, Sears, way back when they were awesome and had good crafts and American quality tools, could do the same shit. Because I remember my dad having a wood handled hammer, claw hammer, that was from my grandpa that broke. The handle just fucking rotted and broke. We walked into the Sears with the pieces, walked up to the guy and said, "It's got Craftsman on it." And he said, "Hey, we need a new hammer." He said, "Just go grab one off the shelf." And that's it. You know,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Harbor Freight, same shit, no questions asked.
Hmm.
I've t- Harbor Freight, some of their Chinesium crap is shit. I've used, I bought a breaker bar back when I had the Grand Prix and I was working on it. I
Yeah.
literally snapped the bar at the head trying to get off two bars, trying to get off
Yeah.
bolts or whatever the fuck it was. I took it back and I'm like, dude, I used this once. And they're like, go grab another one. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, you know what? It doesn't cost me anything but like that 15-minute drive to go get one, you know? And if the tool lasts enough for, you know, a shade tree mechanic like myself, I'm not doing it to make money. It's not my business. It's not my livelihood. If it breaks, whatever. If you know, I've had sockets crack, like split, trying
Oh
to
God, the
bust
amount
off.
of sockets I've gone through has
Yeah,
been
and I'm like, you know what? I
astronomical.
just
Yeah.
go get another one. I take it in there, and they're like, there you go. Go grab one off the shelf. Go grab a set, and you know, we'll open it up and pull out the socket. Here you go. You know, and it's one of those
Husky.
things.
Husky used to be shit.
Yeah,
Like
now they're
Husky
pretty
tools,
good.
I used to strip out their sockets weekly. Somehow I ended up with a 7 mil, and I would, I'd strip it out. I'd use it once, strip it out, and I'd have to go get a new one, strip it out, go get a new one. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. This is stupid.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like I don't.
started using impact sockets.
Yeah, yeah, I've been doing that too. Just regular impacts because they're basically built to last, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, there you go.
but
That's our rant on Snap-on tools.
yeah, but yeah, there's one tool I should have bought. Um, well, not a tool. Was that 2003, 2002? Um, I was on the truck and I was looking at. I was trying to buy a new toolbox because my toolbox was a little beat up. So what I
Yeah.
ended up doing was, I was on there looking, and then he came by. He had a Dale Earnhardt box, big massive toolbox, almost the
Oh,
size of
okay.
my
Gotcha.
closet door, big massive box. It was 32 grand. He bought, it was brand new. He bought it back from a guy, was going to sell it to me for 9 grand. I should have bought it because a couple weeks later Earnhardt died in that
Oh,
fiery crash. And I
Jesus.
was like, oh, you know how much money I could have sold that box for? I could have got rid of that box probably for like MSRP.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I should have bought that box. But that means I would have owed, 9 grand to my Snap-on guy when I probably owed him 2 grand already,
Yep.
so,
Yep.
it was stupid. The amount of money I spent on that truck.
Nice.
Mm, so, but
You know,
let's
you
see.
mentioned Circuit City. I saw. I don't know where I saw this. It was today actually. Uh, CarMax was actually
Yeah,
started by
owned
the
by
guys from
Circuit.
yes, the guys.
Yeah.
So apparently in 1991, Circuit City said we're going to start looking at basically uh, evaluating different business opportunities like outside of consumer electronics.
Yeah.
And they hired some consultant in Virginia, which is where they were headquartered. And this guy said, "Hey, you should try looking at used in retail car sales." So they originally named it Project X, which was kind of cool. And then they internally they referred to it as uh, Honest Rick's Used Cars because it was named after Rick Sharp, who was then the CEO of Circuit City.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this because I think the first car I bought from Circuit City from CarMax was well after they were established. But they originally had a no fee no haggle pricing, which is basically what they have now.
They still have
Um,
that, yeah, which
but
is great. I love that.
they have the fees still. They've reintroduced the fees. But I don't, it's like, and I'm thinking about it because it's like we got our other car, we bought it, private seller, works pretty well. I got to get a new windshield because it's cracked, but um, you know, I I'm like at some point I'm probably gonna have to replace my car because it's freaking rusting out like all hell. But it's like I don't know. We talk about like I don't want to go get a $400 car payment, but that's the cheapest you're gonna find now. Good luck trying to find a $200 car payment.
Yeah, unless you put down, 3/4 of the
Yeah.
the dollar amount.
Yep.
See, we've got Patty Melt's Cherokee. We bought that from CarMax. We liked that experience so much, we went and bought her Explorer from CarMax.
Okay.
Then we went and got my Grand Cherokee from CarMax. And then in a moment of weakness from Patty Melt and I, we took my Grand Cherokee and we traded in my 2018 Grand Cherokee for a 2012 Wrangler. Which, don't
Okay.
get me wrong, I love my Wrangler. It is so much fun. But I'm paranoid that something's gonna, like just shit out on it because, well,
Right.
it makes me sound kind of, not sophisticated, but that's like a dream car. You take the top off, it's convertible, you have fun, etc.
Yeah.
We've built that car up so much. We bought the Wrangler from, well, fuck these guys. We bought them from Ziegler Jeep in Schaumburg.
Okay.
Miserable experience at the dealer. Miserable. I will never go back to that dealer. I probably will never go back to a regular dealer. I will probably only deal with like a CarMax from now on.
Yeah.
Just because it's, you know, here's the car, here's the price. Do you want it? Yes or no? There's no. Okay, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Have a nice night.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's get paperwork done. The experience at CarMax was 10 times better, 100 times better than going to a dealer. And then
Yeah.
my buddy Brian went. You remember Brian, right? Burns
Uh.
got the crazy eye.
Yeah. I think so. Yep.
He went and bought a Challenger. That's no Charger. Charger's the two door. The two door Dodge Coupe. Um, he went and bought it at the same dealer, like month and a half later, 2 months later. Same experience we had. He's like, it was absolutely miserable. He's like, but I wanted the car, so I kind of dealt with it. I'm like, I will never set foot back anywhere near that dealer. First off,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, CarMax all day, every day, without even thinking about it.
Nice. Nice.
When either my car craps out or Patty Melt's, Exploder craps out, it's a CarMax all day, every day. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, I prefer CarMax. Yeah, I remember doing radios and CarMax cars.
Oh God. Yeah.
The
Well, you had
thing,
to, right? I mean, was that like a Circuit City thing? They'd bring him to you to do it.
yeah, because we were in Schaumburg, so the Schaumburg CarMax would bring it to the Schaumburg Circuit City. We would do whatever the installation was: alarm, remote start, radio, speakers, etc., etc. Um, or if they had a car that wasn't bought yet, same thing. The porters would take the car over. We'd get the voucher. We would take the car back. The shit we did to some of those cars. One guy, it was a Camaro. He was trying to be a tough guy. Was trying to light up the tires and smack the back end of the car into one of the concrete posts.
Oh God. Fishtailed it out.
Fishtailed it, yeah, fishtailed going in and smacked it. Oh God, that guy. Too much fun. Too much fun.
Now, was
So
it his car or a customer's car?
that was a CarMax car.
Nice.
Like it was
Nice.
on the lot for sale. It wasn't nobody had bought it yet, but it was on the lot for sale.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
speaking of, wait a minute. You know what I just thought of? Dan had Bunko tonight, right?
Yeah. Bunko, whatever the hell that
Where
is.
did you get an invite? Because I didn't get an invite.
Nice.
Hashtag better without hold on, hashtag better without Dan.
Exactly.
We're just messing around. Dan, we love you. So we miss you. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah, what the hell, Bunko? He did that once before to us.
Yeah. Um what is this? Insisted that her Disney cast Zendaya, she's in a new Disney movie or Disney show.
Okay.
She insisted that that Disney cast black actors as her family. Oh, in Casey Undercover, or she would decline the role. Isn't she black? Or like
Uh,
part black?
Mix? I don't know.
So I stand behind Zendaya. I stand behind you with that. I'm in solidarity there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Black Panther uh, controversy where there wasn't enough diversity in Black Panther the movie. It's a small, isolated African nation. What the fuck do you think?
And
Do you
it's not
think there's
even
gonna
real.
be?
It's not even real.
Do you think there's gonna be crackers from Sweden in there? What do you
God.
think it's gonna be? No, that's Thor. That you want the crackers from Sweden. You want that's Norse mythology.
Crackers from Sweden.
So. Sorry, I went on a tangent there to try to be somewhat entertaining, and I probably failed miserably, but whatever. It made me giggle briefly.
Giggle fart.
Um, Took my wrist 2 days to come down from shooting that Smith& and Wesson 500 last Sunday.
That's cool.
That was fun. Desert Eagle was fun. The Desert Eagle was kind of really nothing. It's my hand is too small for the grip,
Okay.
but that Smith& and Wesson 500, whoo, loud. I only took about 10 shots
Now
with it,
aren't
but
aren't those aren't those bullets like $30 a piece?
I don't remember how much it was, but we were shooting bear loads and some other stuff. It wasn't cheap to shoot it.
Jeez.
Um,
Bear loads. What is that? Like 200 grain, 300 grain? I don't even know anymore.
uh, I think it was a 700 grain.
Damn.
Now, people don't understand what we're talking about, but um, the grain is the weight of the bullet,
Yep.
the projectile. Um, or no, is that how many grains of? But the projectile of a nine
It's
is
supposed
like
to be, I think, how many grains of black powder, but it's basically a weight to determine, the power of the load.
Yeah, it's 115 grain. Um, like a 9 millimeter, which is probably the most popular caliber for carrying in the world, is 115 or 124 grain. So I mean, it's a small projectile. This thing was massive. It's a unit of measurement of mass. So yeah, it's the bullet, referencing the weight of the bullet, the actual projectile on top of it. So the bear load. Ugh, I don't even think I hit the target. Like we had a big 4x8 sheet of like wood.
Yeah.
I don't even think I hit that.
Now, where were you guys shooting at?
One of the guys' farms.
Nice. Yeah, shit. When I get my Floyd, I'm gonna have to come up there. Although I guess I
Um,
don't need a Floyd up there, do I?
as long as you don't tell anybody, just go. Hey, or if
Well,
we
because
go
because
to
dad wants to go to either GET or there's that America Shoot America or whatever it is out here.
what's that?
Shoot USA or something. It's literally
Uh,
down the street on Lake Street.
440 grain is what we were shooting.
Damn, that's not bad though.
So it hurt. It hurt like a son of a bitch. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Um, does Dan have his Floyd?
Dan doesn't know. I don't think he's ever even fired a gun.
Well, if we're gonna try to do this once a month. So I mean, if we go to like McMiller's or something,
Well,
you
where
might.
is this at? I mean, up there, I wouldn't mind taking a drive.
Yeah, McMiller's is up here. And it's probably 45 minutes away from me. And
Yeah,
it's
and
an
you're
outdoor range,
yeah.
so that'd be a summer thing.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
or, I'd have to talk to Mr. Palmer and everybody um, to see if they, you know, I don't think they'd have a problem with this guy's farm, especially if we're only just shooting pistols or something like that. But
Yeah.
and then at that point, you don't need a Floyd because I
No, that's
mean,
true. Yeah. Well,
you're on private land.
my dad's got he's got an old. It's one of the hex barrel 22 short rifles,
Okay.
and then he's also got he's got a 22 long rifle, like a bolt action.
Probably like a Ruger
Uh,
1022.
I think he's got a 308,
Yeah, I got a 308. Yeah,
308, and
rifle. Yeah, hunting cartridge.
then he's got the shotgun, which I mean he doesn't even take it out of the cabinet.
Hey, if we go
The
next
one
time we
time I
shoot.
used the one time I used his shotgun, I went with my buddy Steve to Maxon's, which was over there in by the hospital on Gulf Road before they moved. He had his 12 gauge. We were shooting birdshot, and if you ever been to Maxon's, they had the cable, and you'd put the clip. It was basically a piece of like 4 or 6 inches of like PVC pipe with
Probably
clips on the
shattered
end.
it.
Yeah, and like they charge you $5 if you blow it up. Well, I put it out there now. It must have been like 10 yards away, and I hung the paper thing, and I'm shooting with the shotgun. I aimed way high, dude. The whole blast hit that thing and just fucking shattered it. I'm like, ah,
Surprised
crap.
they let you shoot birdshot because majority of the time, uh, indoors it's slugs only.
Well, maybe it was slugs. I know their range. They didn't do long guns because the back wall was they had the dirt and then they had cinder block, but they said it wasn't like deep enough to handle like
Yeah,
anything over a certain caliber just because of the penetration power. But
but
yeah, I'd like to get back into that shit because I haven't done that in probably like what 30 years, 10 years maybe.
whenever we go shoot trap, whenever we go shoot 5 station, I'll let you know. You just bring the 12 gauge.
Oh,
You
I
go
should,
go,
yeah.
go
So
shoot
that's my
trap.
dad if I get it.
You know.
I still gotta go get my fucking Floyd. I wish I'm so lazy. Like I got a fucking gun that place down the street. Like I could go
Yeah.
there and they'd probably help me do it. But it's like I go to the website and it's not, they won't let you do it online. So I'm like, I won't go. I'm not gonna drive all the way out there. I'm like, it's like 10 minutes down the street.
Hell, we could go to GAT one day because I'd like to see if they got anything, entertaining on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, but that's another day. We can
Yep.
chat about that.
Yep. Yep.
So, I just figured I'd let you know that Smith and Wesson 500. That son of a bitch is no joke.
That probably hits hard, I'm sure, yeah.
That's it. You want to take out, an intruder at your neighbor's house, 3 houses down.
Yeah, when you absolutely have to kill every motherfucker on the block.
Yeah, because I started two-handing, and then the couple of guys I was with, they started, oh, well, you need two hands for blah 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 blah. Well, it's a Smith and Wesson 500 short barrel.
Yeah.
I I'm afraid,
Did you
and
I sent you guys the link a while ago when Eddie Hall was at Kentucky Ballistics shooting that shit
yeah,
and he dropped his fucking 500 cuz
hmm
he was like limp wristing it.
yeah,
He wasn't holding it tight enough and it just literally kicked right out of his hand.
I took it with one hand. I took it like a man. So it's.
And then he had him shoot that 4-bore. That thing is a fucking beast of a gun.
Did you see the 7-bore he shot the other day?
Yes.
The what's it called? That's nuts.
That's crazy.
But
Well, the best one is that fucking punt gun that he's got on that little sled.
yeah,
It shoots
yeah,
like
that's.
a softball sized round.
I wish I had that kind of money to have dumb things like that.
Well, start a YouTube channel and like everyone else, you can make millions.
Gotta blow. We still gotta shoot. Oh, that's what we gotta do. I gotta talk to Mr. Palmer and have his buddy. We need to get some Stanley Cups and see if they're bulletproof
That's
because there's
right.
lead in them. We gotta see that.
I will definitely make a trip up there for that. Bring the
I
GoPros.
I will. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'll text him tomorrow and be like, hey, we need to get some Stanley Cups and we need to see if they're capable of
Yeah.
um
We
stopping any
we
kind of
we
ammo.
know they're fireproof.
We need to see.
That's how that
We'll
whole
do
thing
it.
started. I think I've told you guys that story, right? You heard that story about how that whole thing started with the rush on the cups.
Yes,
The
yes,
lady
yes,
that
yes.
like her car caught fire at the Walmart or whatever, and the
Penny
only
Melt's
thing,
actually got
yeah,
one.
the only thing left in the fucking car was the Stanley Cup and the console, and the ice didn't melt.
Hey, oh, excuse me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's starting to get late here. It's already going on 10 o'clock here.
I uh, I woke up at 2:30 on my kid's floor last night.
Oh God.
2:30, got up, grabbed clothes, took a shower, grabbed some water, started the dishwasher, which that reminds me, I got dishes to do tonight. It was like 3:18 and I'm laying on the couch because I didn't want to wake my wife up again.
Sure.
So I was trying to be respectful. I'm like, it's 3:18. I'm not going to go to the gym like now because we're recording. Like, I should just go to the gym now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they ain't gonna be able to there.
3:18, 4:18, 5:18. By the time I get home, I'm still sleeping anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
So I didn't go to the gym, but I laid there for probably another hour and a half and just, I think I
I
finally went to bed and then my alarm went off.
I picked up one of those white noise apps, the Better
Hmm.
Sleep one. I
Yeah,
haven't used it because I do the I got it on the Google Play Store. It was like $6 or something, or $10.
yeah.
Um, and apparently it's got all these things that, like, they help you ease your mind and tension and anxiety and sleep and all that. And I'm like, maybe I'll give it a try and see. Put the earbuds in and just see what it does.
Isn't that what, didn't you see that movie with Michael Keaton about white noise?
White noise, white noise. That was the
You gotta
one.
watch it.
Yeah, with it was like creature. Was the ghost or whatever?
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's
Jesus.
about all I got. Hopefully, who do you want to win the Super Bowl? We might as well get that out of the way since we talked a lot about.
I'm gonna be the bandwagoner. I'm gonna go for Kelsey and his 49ers.
Oh,
Kansas City, right? I'm sorry, the Chiefs. Yeah, sorry.
yeah. You know, I'm gonna say that the 49ers. I had George Kittle on
Really?
my fantasy team the last 2 years. Their defense
Wow.
has been a little. The Chiefs they haven't been the same team they've been
Well,
in
Chiefs
previous years.
Chiefs have won like the last two or whatever, haven't they?
Yeah, they haven't been as dominant as they usually are.
I don't
So
know. I mean, tell that to the Chiefs who just got into the Super Bowl again.
yeah, they're in the Super Bowl, but they haven't been dominant like we expect. So
That's true.
Travis
That's
Kelce's
true.
his stats are down. Um, Pacheco is probably the only reason they're in. They
So
don't
who's
really
the
have a good wide receiver.
big star on the 49ers?
Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, George
Okay.
Kittle,
So let's say George, who's their quarterback?
Brock Purdy.
Okay, so Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Okay, so Purdy basically is buddy with Taylor Swift, and he convinced her to go out with Travis Kelsey so she
No,
can
it's
mess
she
him
was
up the
an
night before.
she was an Eagles. She's an Eagles fan, a diehard Eagles fan, and because Chiefs beat the Eagles last year, this is her getting revenge. They're in the Super Bowl, and now she's going to distract them.
Oh, okay. So she's gonna keep
Yeah,
up all night Saturday night, and
yeah,
he won't be able to play on Sunday.
yeah. I'm gonna leave.
That's
I'm gonna
probably
alone on that
taking
one.
it. I think that's taking the conspiracy theory a little far.
Yeah, but it's hysterical. So,
It
but
is. That's
I think
funny.
I'm gonna call it a night so I can go do dishes and go to bed before
Yeah,
midnight. So,
Ditto.
Everybody, thank you for watching. If anybody's watching, I didn't see any chatter on
Nah, nothing in the
the
chat.
thing. So, thank you, John. It's good to see you, and
Yep. You too,
we'll
man.
chat with you later.
Yep.
Talk
Take
to
care,
you.
buddy. Have a
Bye.
good one.
Later. You
Bye.
too. Bye.